Hello and welcome to In the Kitchen with Melissa. I'm so excited that you joined me in my kitchen to create another delicious, nutritious recipe. Okay, so tonight I want to share a recipe with you that I put a little bit of a twist on. My mom used to make sweet and sour meatballs growing up all the time, and I loved it. Loved it. Whenever I would go to a Chinese restaurant, which I haven't been to a Chinese restaurant in years, but whenever I would go, I would always get sweet and sour chicken. I love the sweet and the sour flavor together. I have a big sweet tooth for those of you who know me. I love my chocolate. I don't like things too sweet anymore. My taste buds, my hormones have kind of adjusted. But anyways, so what I did is I took my mom's recipe and kind of put my own twist on it, make it just a little bit healthier. And you could serve this with rice, white rice, brown rice. Usually we serve it over cauliflower rice. So I think later on tonight when we have it, we might have it over white rice. I haven't decided yet. But anyways, it's super easy. Again, we're going to use the Instant Pot. And if you haven't bought an Instant Pot, go out and get one right now. Just go do it. Get one on Amazon, wherever you like to shop, and just go do it. Like I said before, I promise you, you're not going to regret it. So, all right, let's dive right into the recipe. So I have everything laid out. The recipe will be posted to the website, melissaking.net, under the recipes dropdown. Okay, so you could go there. We will make sure to provide it for you in this video too on the screen. But if you need to reference it at all beforehand, always just go to our website. All the recipes we create in this video, in the videos on our YouTube channel, will definitely absolutely be on the website. So, okay, all right. So the first thing you want to do, make sure your Instant Pot is plugged in, like we talked about with the chicken and beef sprouts recipe. You want to make sure it's plugged in. It's on the off setting right now. So we're going to use another setting later on in the cooking process that I experimented with a couple weeks ago. I was like, I wonder if that will work. And it did. I was right. So we're going to learn something new with the Instant Pot tonight. So super excited. I love learning new things. So, okay. So I have all my ingredients measured out. The first one is, this is a tomato sauce base. Now my mom uses ketchup in her recipe. I have not tried this one. I'm just gonna go over here and sneak a spatula from the drawer, excuse me. But I use just a canned tomato sauce with very little ingredients in it. And we're gonna have pineapple juice. So 1 cup tomato sauce, 3/4 cup pineapple juice. So I just buy a can of pineapples, like sliced pineapples, chunk pineapples, just in juice, not in the heavy syrup. You don't want the heavy syrup. You can chop up the pineapple and put them in here. I omit that because my husband doesn't like cooked fruit. So I opt just for the pineapple juice instead, because you still get that sweet pineapple-y flavor with it. And then you can use either honey, maple syrup, or coconut sugar to sweeten it. I don't recommend white sugar, the refined sugar. Tonight I'm going to use maple syrup because that's what we have available. And that's what, with all my recipes, I want you to know that there are always substitutions for most of the ingredients. So if you ever don't have an ingredient and you want to make it, just hit me up and I will suggest a different ingredient if it's not listed in the recipe itself. So just know I'm here for you. And then apple cider vinegar. And we have some hot sauce. I did not measure this out yet because I'm going to use it later on. It was just easier for me. So any type of hot sauce you like. This is Valentina. We usually have pepper plant too. If you haven't had pepper plant and you're a hot sauce fan, go get it if you could find it. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. And then we also have some finely chopped, or not, excuse me, not finely chopped, medium chopped purple onion or white onion, whatever you want, and some green bell peppers. You can see those in the bottom. Okay. And then lastly, arrowroot powder, which I'm going to set aside, and we're going to use that later on. Okay, so I'm just going to put that back there just to get it out of the way. And so we're going to start with the sauce first, and then I'll dive into the meatballs. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're just going to put all the ingredients from the sauce in the Instant Pot. And as always, before I put it on and put the lid on and start it, I'll definitely absolutely show you. So I'm pouring the pineapple juice in. I love using just the pineapple juice too, because that means we have leftover pineapple afterwards that we could snack on throughout the week. And I love pineapple. It's so good. So, and then I'm going to pour the apple cider vinegar in, put that in the sink, and then the maple syrup, kind of scrape that out. It's going to be kind of sticky, so that's in there. And now the Valentina, the hot sauce, I'm going to shake it up. This calls for 2 tablespoons, so I'm going to put this 2 tablespoons in here. Do that. And another one. This is so exciting. I was I created this recipe years ago, and I was super excited to make it for the first time in my Instant Pot on the pressure cooking setting, because it's so much easier. It's so much more streamlined. There is an option to do it just on the stovetop, which maybe, and in the oven, which maybe later on, on another day, I'll do a video of that method of this recipe, because it is still really good. So, okay, then you're just going to stir it up. So I'm just stirring all those ingredients together. And then I'm going to put these in. And it's okay if there's a little bit of the seeds from the green bell pepper in there. Just go ahead, stir it up. And sometimes my onions are still kind of stuck together. But that's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't get too caught up in that. So, okay, I'm just going to put that aside for now, and then I'll give you a peek inside the Instant Pot. Okay, so now you can see all the ingredients are in there. The onions, the green bell peppers, which, by the way, you could use any color bell pepper. It doesn't really matter. The tomato sauce, the maple syrup, the apple cider vinegar, the hot sauce, the pineapple juice, everything's in there ready to go. Okay, so now we have the base in there, all the sauce and all the ingredients for the sauce. And so now what I have in this bowl is I have a pound of ground beef. You could use ground bison as well, ground pork, really any kind of ground meat, ground turkey, ground chicken, any will do. Any kind of meat will do. And 1 egg and about a teaspoon of salt, sea salt, and a teaspoon of ground black pepper. Okay, so one thing that I love to do with making meatballs or meatloaf is I love to take my rings off and really get my hands dirty. So I'm gonna just stick my hands in there, mix it all up, the egg yolk. So you wanna make sure you put the egg in there. If you have an allergy to eggs, don't worry about it. The meatballs they should still stick together, but the protein in the egg really helps bind the meat together for the meatballs. So I have a clean plate here, which I'm gonna put the meatballs on as I'm forming them. And I have a scooper, Pampered Chef scooper. You don't really need this. Take a tablespoon, you could take a tablespoon or some sort of a spoon. It doesn't really matter. And just, because you're just gonna form the meatballs with your hands anyway. So this really just helps kind of portion it out evenly. So you get a even amount of meatballs. So I like this part because I love getting my hands dirty. I really feel like, and you'll hear this in a video that we'll be posting maybe next month, that I love just getting my hands dirty. I love connecting with my food because it really just, I don't know, there's something amazing about a home cooked meal and like touching the food, you know, that you're making, and it's just that physical connection, and it's really difficult for me to explain, but it's one of the reasons why I love cooking so much, because this food, the food, it nourishes our body. You know, it gives us energy. When you're eating whole, real, nutrient-dense food, it really helps with our mental clarity and reduces anxiety. And it just, like, our bodies crave it. They need it, and our bodies want nutrient-dense food, and then they know what to do with it, you know, with the vitamins and the minerals in it and everything. Our bodies are very, very wise, like I always say. So let's get this in here. We're almost done. Okay, so there's just a little bit in here. I am just going to real quickly just portion this out and put that in there, get that out of my way. I'm just going to portion this one out. So this is a pound of ground meat, if I haven't said before, but I'm just going to roll it into balls. They don't have to be super tight. In fact, you may not be able to get them super tight, but if you could see right there, that's pretty good. So I'm just going to do that, and then as I make them, I'll just plop them in there. And we'll just do this. Some of them might be a little bit bigger than others, but I don't get too concerned about that. So let's keep going, and I'll keep talking. I'll talk about the next steps so we can keep this show on the road. So if you have any experience with using an Instant Pot, using the pressure cooking setting, you know that you need some liquid in it. The liquid in it, you know, preferably water, creates pressure. In this recipe, you're actually not going to put any more liquid in it. The sauce is enough liquid as it is. So you don't really need any extra liquid in it. And okay, so we have the last meatball. So we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 meatballs. Okay, so that's 7 for me, 7 for my husband, and I think that will really fill us up. That's half a pound each. So I'm just gonna excuse myself for one moment, put this dirty dish in the sink and go wash my hands, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we have the meatballs in there along with the sauce. Ooh, it looks so pretty. I'm super excited. I love these one-pot meals that I've been making lately because they're just quick and easy and takes all the stress out of making a nutrient-dense meal from home. Okay, now this is the part I love because we get to put the lid on. Remember, you're going to make sure it's sealed. It's at the sealed setting, on the sealed setting. That's very, very super important because if not, the lid will fly off and then you'll have a mess in your kitchen. And as exciting and fun as that sounds, it's probably not going to be very fun to clean up the mess. So we're going to do manual setting, high pressure. And we're gonna cook this for 5 minutes. Actually, 6 minutes. I'm sorry, 6 minutes. Okay, set to 6 minutes. It's gonna beep in a few seconds and then we'll come back. So I'll see you when it's done. Okay, welcome back. Our sweet and sour meatballs are done, and there's one more step we need to do before we are able to enjoy them. So let me just get started. So it cooked for 6 minutes. The pressure built up, cooked for 6 minutes. Now we're on the fourth minute of naturally releasing the pressure. So I'm going to just gently, with my hot pad, give it a little push, little oomph, and speed up the process a little bit. And I had Dirk over there again, you know, with the chicken and beef sprouts recipe. He was there, and he's not a huge fan of this process, are you, buddy? But it's okay. It's just a little steam. I know it's a little loud. And you don't feel like you need to force this or anything. You could always just let it sit. I've let it sit for up to 20 minutes before, so that's totally fine. So, okay. So I'm going to, if you try and take the lid off before the pressure is released, you'll see that you won't be able to do it. It'll be really difficult. So, just getting easier. And, ooh, it's still hot. That's why I always have a hot pad on handy, because it does get really hot. Okay, yay! Okay, so this is done. It's so beautiful. One more step. What we're gonna do, oh shoot, I forgot to grab the tongs. So look at these meatballs. They're so beautiful. So I'm gonna take all the meatballs out. And these delicious meatballs, OMG, they look so delicious. I cannot wait for dinner. I have some rice cooking. We don't usually eat a lot of rice in our house because we're mostly paleo primal. We don't eat a lot of grains, but occasionally we'll be craving it. And so every, I don't know, few months or so, we'll whip some up. So I have some cooking on the stove top right now. And my hubby is on his, ooh, that meatball kind of started to fall apart, but that's okay. It's still gonna taste delicious. Okay, so you're gonna take about a tablespoon of arrowroot. Arrowroot is a really great alternative to white flour or whole wheat flour to use as a thickener. So you're just gonna add some water to it. Oh, I forgot my little baby whisk that I like using. Okay, so you're gonna put some water in it, make a little slurry. This really helps so the arrowroot doesn't clump up in the sauce, okay? I learned this trick years ago, and it's just been a huge saver for me, because I used to make sauces, soups, try and thicken them, and I'd have these arrowroot clumps, and it'd just drive me crazy. So, all right, now we're gonna hit the saute button. Gotta hit the cancel button, saute button, okay? You don't need to worry about changing the time or anything. You're gonna pour this in there, the slurry, and it's gonna start bubbling, and you're just gonna start whisking, okay? So it's on, and you're just gonna whisk. I know there's chunks in there. The onions and the green peppers, but that's okay. So you're just gonna whisk it. You really don't need to whisk it for that long, maybe 2 to 3 minutes at the most. So, okay. I think this looks pretty good. So you just want to thicken it just a little bit, because as it kind of sits in the heat, it's going to naturally thicken. So you don't need to whisk it for very long. And another cooking video we have in the queue, there's going to be a great lesson in that I learned when I was testing the recipe last week. So, all right, so now you could just pour the sauce on top of these right now, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put these back in here so they stay nice and warm until my hubby comes home and we could enjoy a nutritious and delicious dinner together as a family. We're really big in our house on sitting down together and having dinner, having a meal together as a family. Sometimes we'll watch TV, sometimes we'll just sit and talk. I grew up in a household where we didn't turn on the TV during dinner. My dad always said turn it off, and when I go to my father and mother-in-law's house, my stepfather-in-law is the same way, so which I like. So it's on saute. I'm just gonna put it on keep warm and just kind of stir it in And then, yeah, I'm gonna show you the final shot of how it looks, and then we can enjoy it. Okay, so can you see the bubbles? You could hear it. Oh my gosh, it looks so delicious. So even though it's on the off setting, it's still, since I turned it on simmer, or excuse me, saute. I think I said simmer in the video. Sorry, I will make sure that's corrected on the actual video. But you could see the steam coming up, and it's still kind of simmering a little bit, bubbling. So that means the sauce is naturally getting thicker. That's why we only needed to stir it, whisk it for about 2 to 3 minutes. So, all right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope when you make this recipe, you enjoy it with your family, and let me know what you think. Let me know what tweaks you would make, what tweaks you had to make. And remember, all our recipes are at melissaking.net under the recipes tab, and they all have a link directly to each YouTube video. So I'm super excited about the In the Kitchen with Melissa cooking series. I'm having so much fun with it. I hope you guys are getting a lot out of it. So, all right, thanks guys. And I'm gonna go enjoy a nice relaxing evening with my hubby. Talk to you guys later.